everybody, welcome to Olivia Connects. My name is Olivia Gudaniec, and I'm super excited to be here with Debbie Fazio today. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much.
What would you tell a new mom that's comparing, say, her new life to her old life, or somebody that feels like her only purpose is to be with baby and feed baby?
Well, technically in the first little while you almost are feeding baby and being with baby, but you also want to remember self-care, because it's really hard to go from taking care of just yourself and possibly your spouse or other half to now having this little being that needs you 24/7. So one of the biggest things that we always talk about is make sure you have help as a new mom, whether that be family members or hired help.
Absolutely. So now we're going to do a quick Q&A. This is more for new moms and just things I found online that surprised me or I've never heard of. So let's see if we can all learn something together. Okay, about breast milk. When does it come in? Is it painful? And how can we ease that?
Okay, so it's a really important topic because there's so much stress around breastfeeding and not breastfeeding. And I think the number one thing that I like to tell people is make sure you're doing what you want to do. Try not to focus on everyone else's input. It's what works for you is best. When your milk comes, so generally when you have your baby, what you will get in the first few days is something called colostrum, which is a sticky yellow substance, and that is liquid gold. It's actually really powerful for your babies in terms of antibodies and making them healthier. So if you're able to get that liquid gold into your baby, it's a plus. Usually after those few days, your milk then starts to come in, but keeping in mind it's really, really small quantities. So your baby's belly is really tiny, usually the size of like a cherry. Okay. And it grows as baby gets bigger. So the amount of milk you have in those early days is also very small and does increase as you continue your breastfeeding journey.
So as the baby gets bigger, you just naturally get more milk?
Yeah, so breastfeeding works on demand and supply. The more you use, the more it'll make.
Okay.
So not on supply and demand. You're not going to make 6 ounces of milk off the bat. What's going to happen is you have very, very, very small amounts, which the baby is good with. And then as baby gets older, your milk supply starts to increase along with it.
That's interesting. And what about babies that don't latch?
Well, one of the biggest things that I always encourage people who do want to breastfeed is to reach out to an IBCLC, which is a board-certified lactation consultant. And I always say have someone speak to you before a baby's born so you know how to prepare and what to expect. Have them come in the first day or two if there's not someone at the hospital helping you or your midwife, and then have them return 3 or 4 weeks later to make sure that everything is on track and going well, because that's really important to understand different positioning, different sitting, how to get baby on, how to know baby's eating really well. So there's really, it's almost like a little bit of a dance back and forth between mom and baby.
Yeah. And
it's not easy to just jump into it yourself. Often we need someone sort of walking us through it and helping us understand what we're doing and what we're looking for.
Absolutely. A friend of mine once told me that after the baby came out, you kind of just place baby on your stomach and they're supposed to like crawl up to find you.
Yeah, so this is something that I actually love. There's Christine Smiley is, I believe she's a doctor or an IBCLC, and she has a great video and it's called the baby-led dance. And it's exactly that. And what you do is after childbirth, you put baby on your chest, skin to skin, and you just wait for them to start showing you that they're getting ready. And almost like a little kitten looking for their mom's nipple, baby starts to bounce around on the chest, and you might see them falling towards one side or bouncing and moving. And then it's our job as new mom to just help guide them there. It's not as forced as bringing baby to breast or bringing breast to baby. It's more of a natural process, but I have seen a lot of people have huge success with it happening on its own.
So that is what's encouraged, or is that just what happens? Because I've watched a ton of videos. I'm not a mom yet. I want to be at one point. Is that what happens at a hospital? Like as soon as the baby's born, you're ready to...
Well, baby is often ready to drink that colostrum in the first couple of hours after birth. Keep in mind, they are eating while they're in belly, so sometimes they come out and they're not hungry because they're just fed.
Yeah.
But within the first few hours, generally we do want to get baby at the breast if you're breastfeeding. And you'll only have that little bit of colostrum. But again, it's something, it's dependent on if the parent wants it, but also in terms of what kind of support you're getting, it really depends on where you're giving birth. So every hospital is different. Every staff at the hospital is different. Right. Even midwives, are different, although they are trained to make sure that mom is doing well with breastfeeding. So there's a little bit more one-on-one if you're working with a midwife. But truthfully, it's really about support. And if you feel like you want to breastfeed and you want to do a certain parenting strategy, make sure you're hiring someone or reaching out to people that can support you on that journey. So if you're not getting the help right off the bat, go find it.
Yeah, and let them know what you expect.
Yes.
Because it's your body, it's your baby, it's your experience, so do it your way.
Exactly. That's my number one mission on working working in this industry, is finding out what is a parent's end goal and helping them get to that. Not putting my judgments or my end goals on them, but asking them, what do they see, where do they want to end here, and let's help you on your journey to get to that point.
So it's all about resources, and this girl's got them.
Thank you so much.
No problem.
No, I think the one message that I've really been preaching is to try not to compare yourself to other people. Try not to compare babies from one to the next, because they're all different. Try not to compare your journey with what you're seeing on social media, because it is really a small little snippet of what you're seeing of everyone's life. And parenting is hard, and you don't have to do it by yourself. So certainly get the help. If you don't have that from family and friends, then reach out to a company that can help you along the way. Also, our services are sometimes covered by private insurance. So if you have private insurance, make sure to ask them what you have and what they need to get pre-approval.
That's great.
Yeah, and if you reach out to us, we can offer you an agency letter to see if it's something that can be covered by your private insurance.
I mean, every bit helps, right, guys?
It does. And we've had clients that have even done, instead of having a baby shower, they've chosen to have this as their gifts. So they give their family a link, their families can donate money to their postpartum or labor care.
So smart.
Yeah, and then they can get help that way too.
Ideas. Well, thanks so much, Debbie. Thank you guys for watching. If you learned something new, share this video with your friends. Like, subscribe, and if you have any questions, please put them in the comment box, and hopefully we can get a community going so we can help support one another. Take care, and we'll see you next week.